What's up YouTube, Jay Traveling here. Today I wanted to talk about the 3060 Ti that's set to launch tomorrow, December 2nd. My thoughts on it, and what kind of performance it's packing. One, from gaming, and two, just some reports that I found on megahash a second as far as crypto mining on Ethereum. So let's check it out and see what it's all about. So this is straight from Nvidia's website. You see this is the 3060 Ti. How many CUDA cores? 4864 CUDA cores. The boost clock, 1.67 gigahertz, and the base clock at 1.41. Again, this is the Founders Edition. One thing I did notice is if you come down to here to graphics card power, it's 200, and the required system power is 600. It's much higher than the normal 60th generation of the 1060 and the 2060. So 600 is obviously going to require some power to power it. But it's also packing a lot more performance than them. So if we look at some articles here that we found that the 3060 Ti, it's coming out pretty much relatively faster than I thought it would come out. I didn't really expect to see this card until next year, but with AMD dropping their cards, it makes sense for them to put it out to try and compete back with them as far as a budget-friendly card. It reports not to fall too much behind the 3070. I think reports were saying that the 3070 is 11% more performance than the 3060 Ti. Why they went with Ti and not just RTX 36 is beyond me, unless they plan on putting out a 3060 later at a cheaper price with a little bit less performance. I'm not sure. I have yet to see rumors of that. But the big claim is, the 2060 came out at $399. The 3060 is set to release at the same price of $399 for the Founders Edition card. But it's much cheaper than a 2080, and they're claiming it to have more performance. So here's one graph that I found to give you a relative idea of performance of what they're claiming and what people have been getting. So your baseline is your 2060 Super, which is where the one falls in line. You'll see the baseline here. And that's our performance as 2060 Super. And then you have your 2080 Super in the middle. So you see it outperforming your 2060 Super, which is expected. But then you see in the green, you see the 3060 Ti outperforming in pretty much every game almost, except for I think I seen in Watch Dogs they were pretty even as far as performance between 2080 Super and 3060 Ti according to this graph when it came to ray tracing. But other than that, pretty much across the board, the 3060 Ti beating it out. And you can see in the bottom here in the disclaimer, it was performed at 1440p resolution on max settings with 10900K. So that's how they tested this one. So pretty much you're looking at a $400 graphics card in US dollars that comes out tomorrow. The big question is, and that's what a lot of people are saying, is will you be able to get it? There's been talks that this is going to be a lot more readily available than the other graphics cards were when they come out, so we'll see. And then another article I found from a crypto miner. So you see he's got the memory clocked at plus 200 or plus 1200 and the power at 60%. So he's getting 61.3 megahash a second. So 61 megahash a second looks pretty consistent here at 120 watts out of his 3060 Ti. That's pretty good megahash as far as the wattage. The one thing I did notice is I have seen miners with 5700 XTs modify the BIOS and get about 61 to 63 megahash a second at very similar, if not slightly lower wattage per graphics card, per GPU. But that's also a graphics card that's been out for a while and fine-tuned, BIOS modded, and devs with the mining softwares are able to more program their softwares for them. So as this card comes out, we might be able to see these get slightly more speeds, maybe slightly better overclocks and undervolting to get better power efficiency out of them. Also with software, firmware updates, maybe you'll see mining hash rates get a little bit better. So as far as the performance of what we see and what people are getting for the 3060 Ti, I think it's going to be a great value graphics card. I mean, I think Nvidia and AMD both are putting out, GPUs that just perform great, much better than what their previous generation of graphics cards are doing. So really, you can't go wrong with whichever one you want to buy. It's going to come down to preference, and a lot of people look at their price to performance, and you really have to sit down and analyze what you want and what you can get out of the GPU. But this 3060 Ti at $399 price point is going to pack great value as far as price to performance. You're outperforming or perform just as good or outperforming a 2080 Super, which was your $700-800 graphics card of the previous generation. So you're building a computer a lot cheaper and getting great performance, especially at 1440p. I know personally right now I use a 2070, and at 1440p I still get 140 frames a second. Usually at medium to high settings on most games. Some games I can do all ultra and still get 140 frames a second. But games like Warzone, I'll turn the graphics down a little bit on my 2070. So the fact that a 3060 Ti is going to be, your 2080 Super performance, you're going to be having no trouble getting 140 frames a second at 1440p. Now, if you're looking at crypto mining, you're looking at $399 per graphics card, which if you can fine tune it and get the 61 megahash a second at 120 watts, that's pretty good performance per watts. The price tag of $400 per GPU is very good also. I know others have tested with the 3080s, and I haven't seen any personally of the 3070 yet, but the 3080 I have seen pushing 100 megahash a second. But I have also seen issues with thermal throttling with them. So I don't know if that's going to be a firmware issue or if that's a hardware issue. Some people, I'm waiting to see other people's test results and what they're coming up with. I don't personally have one, so I can't really test it myself. But a 3060 Ti, I might try and get my hands on one just to test it as far as crypto mining, and maybe put it in my PC until I can get myself a 3080 to put into it. I'm not as worried about price of performance when it comes to my PC. I just want to get a 3080 personally and put it in. But if you're looking for budget, this is going to be a great graphics card to buy. I hope this information helps some people out with possibly their decisions and purchases later on. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more videos.